slash their fertilizer use. This move that makes food shortages even shorter is being done as part of Klaus Schwab's and the World Economic Forum's green agenda. Only an idiot wouldn't see how increasing starvation decreases global warming. And if you're dumb enough to be thinking, let us reassure you that Germany proactively taking a step to creating a famine is not about population control.
Yeah, we'll see you on Rumble for that one. Hey guys, we're gonna definitely get to Tom McDaniel here, so we just want to welcome you. If you happen to be new here, give us a thumbs up. I'm looking at my phone. I'm watching whether or not you guys are giving me a thumbs up. That pushes the video up there into the algorithm. Okay, the YouTube world loves thumbs up, so make sure you push it forward, guys, and also brace yourself because we got a good one coming from Tom McDaniel today. I mean, in a few minutes. So let's do a JP video quickly. JP goes crazy, and after that we move over to Tom. All right, let's do it.
I don't always share the news, but when I do, I lie. Good evening and welcome to We Lie to You News. Over the past week alone, the world has greatly improved by getting 53% dumber. Tonight, we'll share with you our top stories that'll explain why we're getting dumber, starting with, in response to food shortages, Germany has ordered its farmers to slash their fertilizer use. This move that makes food shortages even shorter is being done as part of Klaus Schwab's and the World Economic Forum's green agenda. Only an idiot wouldn't see how increasing starvation decreases global warming. And if you're dumb enough to be thinking, let us reassure you that Germany proactively taking a step to creating a famine is not about population control. And in other news, the Dutch government has shut down over 3,000 farms. No word yet on how they'll be able to feed food to their population without food. This intentional starvation step is in an effort to help combat climate change. This is not about population control. Meanwhile, Canada is now actively promoting assisted suicide as a remedy, even for people with treatable conditions, including treatable mental illness. Veterans.
Darth Vader, I heard about that one. That was disturbing myself. I heard it just yesterday. I think it's called MAIDS, Medical Assistant in Dying or in Death or something like that. Yeah. I was like, get out of town. That's a thing?
Yeah. Now, well, in Canada it is. Like they're trying to encourage people to, you're feeling depressed today, so why don't we just schedule a procedure to off yourself.
Oh God, Lucy, the slippery slope is getting worse. The thing is, some people we go through phases in our lives where things are really dark. Even in Scripture, the Bible says, "Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning." There are periods of darkness in our lives, even when we are sick. It's not always, doesn't always mean, I had a stomachache recently. That was so bad. I'm like, Lord, if you're going to kill me. I said, Lord, if today is the day I'm going to die,
take me now.
Take me now. Because listen, I was in pain for 6 hours. We're talking about like a 10 out of 10 type of stomach pain to the point I couldn't even walk. I couldn't lay. I couldn't do anything. It was because of the medicine that I took from the hospital. And one of the first side effects for that medicine, I think it's a heparin drip that I was on to make sure I didn't get any blood clot. Well, the first side effect of that was stomach pain. Man, right. I feel like I was dying. What if I had assisted suicide done to me as a result of that? Here I am today, a couple hours later, I'm just perfectly fine. I lived through it and I'm okay. It was a painful experience, but that doesn't necessarily mean this was the end of the world.
Given the fact that you have a heart condition, you're the perfect candidate for this assisted.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I'm on a lifeline here. I was talking to my mom the other day. I said, I'm on a lifeline, Mom. Don't you know this? If I make it to 60s, praise the Lord. But, but I'm not gonna kill myself. Y'all crazy.
Neither am I. No. Just so everybody's aware, we're declaring this here now. Neither Pastor or I are gonna abstain ourselves.
If you find out something happened to us, it's not suicidal. Don't call the FBI either. because they can't help us.
Yeah, no.
You might as well call it JP. All right.
But I mean, yeah, this
Ridiculous.
is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. He's actually got another video about it, and he actually makes fun of it, where people come in with like minor abrasions or I broke a leg. Oh well, we'll schedule you for your.
Oh my goodness! But the thing is, what's happening in Canada, if we're not careful, oftentimes the pendulum swings from east to west. So once it happens over there, it's only a matter of time before it comes in our direction.
I don't know. I think it's heading south right now.
Is it? Oh, let them have that. Yeah, they can have it.
Because,
but there's those communist run, social. Even though they may not be a socialist country, but in principle, I noticed that Canada has a lot of socialist, ideologies and stuff in them. But nevertheless, you notice that they seem to be leaning more toward these very dark version of addressing issues. Like they go very extreme in ways that it's like we are not perfect over here, but we don't do that.
Right. Yeah, we're not perfect. Well, I think what has happened is they've realized that their social health care system, it was good in theory, but it doesn't really work in practice.
Yeah.
So now they need to thin the herd.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Of the more extreme cases of people who need long-term care or, prolonged care. Yeah. So they're taking these extreme measures and combined with the WEF and their push for population control.
Yeah. In the name of Great Reset. Mm-hmm.
It kind of all culminates.
Yeah. It's one big happy family. They all relate to one another in some way or another.
I'm just glad I'm not in Canada.
We'll deal with the trans movement over here as much as we can. We'll push back, but we stay over here. All right, let's move. Let's keep going.
In Canada, have even reported hospital workers inappropriately suggesting and trying to coerce them into giving assisted suicide a shot. The best part is the government funds the deadly treatment of death. Truly compassionate while also being a modern-day medical miracle breakthrough. It certainly gets our stamp of approval. And just so you know, Justin Trudeau's desire to kill Canadians for their own good is not about population control. Moving along, people are having trouble reproducing. It's come to light that over the past 50 years, sperm counts are down by 62%. Some say it will lead to a reproductive crisis. Some are speculating that what's responsible for the alarming drop in sperm counts could be toxins found in our food and water, all of which would have been put there by someone. More to be discovered, but for now, we just want to reassure you, this is not about population control. And in the US, over the past year, we have seen abortion being pushed as an empowering, morally superior thing to do, because babies' lives don't matter. Unfortunately, many men have yet to get on the bandwagon of getting abortions. I don't know what's wrong with these men. I myself have had 11 abortions this month alone. I like to get them preventatively, kind of like booster abortions. Nonetheless, with the politicized encouragement to get abortions, we can assure you that this is not about population control. And in other news that's also kind of the same, Rod Stewart's 11-year-old son was recently rushed to the hospital after it was suspected that he had a heart attack. Now, why did another 11-year-old have a heart attack? Well, the answer is simple. It's probably just from many decades of eating junk food. What else could it be?
That's a little bit that's a hard one to deal with. I have a 5-year-old son, and I have a 12-year-old son. Yeah, that is rare. I don't know too many kids who are having heart attacks at this phase of their lives, unless we'll save that discussion for Rumble. Anyway, let's get back to JP. You know what I mean.
Though you can expect a clear answer to this question in exactly never, we can assure you that this is not about population control. Have you seen Died Suddenly? Good movie. The information it exposes also definitely has nothing to do with population control. The plot of the Twitter files had.
Did you guys watch reaction videos to that movie? I know it was a bit lengthy, but you have to go on Rumble for that one. You go to the Rumble channel. There's a link in the description of this video. We have reacted to that Die Suddenly movie. It's a beautiful documentary. Doctors, morticians and so on.
Yeah. News articles.
Yeah. Army soldiers and so on. I mean, but remember, it has nothing to do with population control.
Check it out on Rumble.
Yeah, check it out on Rumble. Remember, it has nothing to do with population control. It's all a big coincidence. Let's move on.
Has thickened. After Elon released the first batch of the Twitter files, showing irrefutable evidence of the government colluding with a tech giant to censor Americans' First Amendment right, along with showing the organization's intentional cover-up of the rather hilarious Hunter Biden laptop story to ensure we have a free and fair election, as we always do, you'll get in trouble if you say otherwise, it was discovered that a former FBI attorney now working at Twitter was deleting evidence from the files that exposes the FBI's involvement in the censorship collusion. The former top attorney for the FBI is James Baker. He was heavily involved in trying to frame Donald Trump in the 2016 Russia collusion hoax. This just in! Trump definitely did what he didn't do. After Elon found out about Baker altering the Twitter files in order to hide the FBI's corruption, he immediately fired Baker. And in what could go wrong with this decision news, Hunter's dad swoops in to save the day for former WNBA star and current Russian felon, Brittany Griner. After repeatedly kneeling for the national anthem, Griner then willingly broke Russian law by taking cannabis into the country. Apparently a no-no. She was then sentenced to prison in Russia for the crime she committed. But the most popular president in U.S. history with the lowest approval rating in U.S. history has just negotiated her release in exchange for the U.S. releasing a notorious Russian arms dealer. This move is being applauded by everyone who wants Russia to be better armed. Hopefully Biden's move can get Russia some more nukes that we'd like them to have.
The fact is, she checks every one of those boxes for the woke theology. Oh, should I say ideology?
And anyway. Not only that, but they're trying to play both sides of the conflict over there. You see how that's working, right? Because we're treating Brittany Griner and giving them a weapons dealer that a movie was based on. Mm-hmm. You've heard Lord of War?
With Nicholas Cage. Yeah, I've seen it. And I didn't even know this was a true story, to be honest with you.
It was based on the guy that we traded for Brittany Griner. Mm-hmm. It was basically him.
Yeah, it makes me want to go watch it again. Wow. But I'll tell you, something is wrong with the fabric of this country.
So we're basically trying to play both sides. Mm-hmm. When we're shipping arms and munitions to Ukraine, yet we trade them an arms dealer.
Yeah, I saw that Ukraine president who came, Vladimir Levinsky, and he came to the joint session of Congress, and I'm like, all this clapping was happening. I'm like, these people are so excited. It's like the average American person is like, what are you guys so excited about? Because you're excited about what? Lives being destroyed? Why don't we talk about peace and safety? Why don't we talk about ways to end the thing? But no, I'm coming to your house. I mean, at least put on a suit, brother. But nevertheless, you go to the White House looking like you're going to the park, and then you come in and ask for more money, and then you're going to go use taxpayer dollars going back over there and create more wars of Ukrainian innocent individuals. Some of them have nothing to do with somebody's corruption. More of them are going to die. And then we're going to call this way of standing against our enemies. It's like this war by proxy, having these Ukrainians fighting a war against the enemy, which we so don't like, supposedly. It's just diabolical at heart. I'm looking at this stuff. I'm like, these guys think people are stupid. Like, oh, clapping and everything. Nancy Pelosi give him a big kiss. I'm like, oh, that's cute. But who cares? Because people are dying all over the place. Like, do you care about lives at all, or you just care about your political agenda? But nevertheless, it's very obvious to me. It's corruption. Can't wait to vote these people out of office. So corrupt. But more money is being funneled.
This is why I've said for years that we need term limits for Congress.
Absolutely. All right, let's keep going.
Nonetheless, with Griner's release, Americans can finally relax and continue not caring about the WNBA or even knowing what it is. Trump is found guilty. After shooting from the hip for 6 years, we finally got him. Well, kinda. And also, not really at all. The Trump Organization was found guilty of tax fraud in a New York court. A former executive with the organization, Alan Weaselberg, pleaded guilty to spending money on his staff and family members with money that was not reported to the IRS. Those are the facts, and we can assure you that they don't matter. What does matter is a better framed soundbite like, Trump found guilty of tax fraud, because he's a criminal. Right, Liz Cheney?
I think he's guilty.
He certainly is. And now I think we've got all the proof we need that the tax fraud that Trump didn't personally commit is what caused the security guards to open the gates, allowing protesters to enter the Capitol building on January 6th. And our final story. Who killed JFK? We're reporting on the Daily Wire, reporting on a journalist, Jefferson Morley, who reported on a new finding regarding the JFK assassination. Morley reportedly uncovered documents that indicate that Lee Harvey Oswald was connected with and involved with the CIA 3 months prior to JFK's assassination. At a press conference in the creepiest city on earth, Washington, D.C., Jefferson Morley said, "We're talking about smoking gun proof of a CIA operation involving Lee Harvey Oswald." Interestingly, never before seen JFK documents that the CIA and FBI have continuously fought hard to keep a secret are legally set to be released later this week. With the nobility and transparency that the CIA and FBI definitely stand for, you can look for those documents to not actually be released. But to finally solve the mystery around JFK's assassination, it is clear that the January 6th committee needs to look for, if not create, evidence that President Trump was indeed the second gunman on the grassy knoll. Do you think, Liz?
It's appropriate to think about it that way.
Me too! And that's it for today's news. We're getting dumber by the day, and that's a good thing because it helps you better believe what we tell you. And if you're having a tough day, go get some assisted suicide, you worthless peasant, because we care. Good night! Freedom lover!
Yep. That's where we are.
Uh-huh.
he said, uh-huh. Yeah, keeping it PG-13 here, okay? For YouTube, because YouTube can handle the truth. I got one verse, and then we're going to move over to Tom. Lord have mercy. You know the truth is going to come out no matter what anybody says, right? You can try to hide it, sugarcoat it, press it down, choke it. Eventually, you stick its ugly head. Welcome back. You can't stop the truth from coming forward. You can press it down for a period of time, but eventually it comes out. Whether you like it or not. You know, whenever you see one of those mysterious kind of deaths, and nobody can figure out what it is, especially of a famous person, they just can't figure it out, you can almost be like, okay, this is one of those dirty deeds that's happening within the government. It's not hard to tell. It's like, okay, why is this one so hard to figure out? These guys could figure out all kind of stuff. They figure out stuff that the forensic, experts could figure out some of the most difficult way that people have committed homicide, and they can figure it out. Crazy stuff. Like they go back to bones. They're going back to dig in the trash of an individual. Like crazy, just this layer of a skin and just a piece of a hair. Wow, it's crazy how the guys
saliva off a cigarette butt.
Yeah, and then a president died. We don't know who did it, and not only we didn't know who did it, but we didn't know who funded that. Got it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Please. I got this verse, Proverbs 15:3. The eye of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. That's one, and one more. God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret things, whether it be good or evil. I'll leave it right there. I'll let you interpret that yourself.